Hi there, welcome back to the channel. For those of you who've not been here before, this channel is all about helping you get the most out of living with a Skoda EV, namely the Elrock or the Enyaq. In my case it's an Enyaq. And I mentioned in one of my recent videos that I had bought some accessories, some wind deflectors, so that you can actually have the window open, get some fresh air in the cabin and not have any noise, or not as much noise as if you just opened them without these fitted. So I bought these some time ago. I got them on the internet from DGA, which is a company based in Portugal. No instructions with it, but there's a QR code on the box. You scan that and then it takes you to a video and it shows you how to install the wind deflectors. One of the things it does tell you is it needs to be 20 degrees. So today we've got that rarest of things in Scotland. We've got wall-to-wall sunshine and it's absolutely roasting inside the car. So I'm quite happy that there's no need to do what they suggest on the instructions, which is use a hairdryer to warm up the area where you're going to be fitting the wind deflectors. So bear with me, this shouldn't be a very long video. First step, you need to clean the area around the windows. So I need to open the window. According to the car it's now 24 degrees, but obviously it feels a lot hotter than that in there. So I've just got some all-purpose cleaner here and then I'm going to spray it on this microfiber cloth and then just clean around this seal, which is where the wind deflectors are going to go. The car's locking itself up again. So that's all that is needed there, is to clean that. Then you'll see these have not even been out the bag yet, so I'll just rip the plastic bag. He said I'll just rip the plastic bag. There we go. I'm not sure which one's which actually. Let's make sure we've got the right one. That's obviously, the car's decided to close the windows again. That's really helpful. So as you can see here, there's a little adhesive strip, and what you do is you peel that off and then you slot it in underneath the edge on the car. So what I'll do is I'll open the window again. I'm going to test it before I actually fit it. Test it for fit. So yeah, it's quite snug in there. I wonder if there's a knack. Try fitting it from that end first. Yeah, that's going to be the best way to do it. So fit it from the back first. So now I've tested that fits. What I'll do is I'll peel off the backing here from the self-adhesive strips. It's all come off. I'll just dump that inside the car there. So the knack seems to be to have it behind the wing mirror, slot it in up there at the very top and at the back of the door, then push it in here and it slots in just like that. And then the next step on the video is that you close the window. But obviously you have to make sure your Enyaq is powered on first. Okay. And as you saw there, what it did, it hit the safety mechanism, so I actually had to hold down the switch to actually push that wind deflector right back up into place. So that is it. I will leave that in situ now. I'll go and do the other side. I won't bother filming that, and then later on I'll show you some footage from driving the car with those in place and you can see how they perform. Okay, 24 hours later and I've got to make a bit of a work trip this morning. So I was worried about having fitted wind deflectors in the past to a Volkswagen camper van that I own. I found that sometimes the electric windows interfere with them, and that when you go to close them, the safety mechanism kicks in, it detects what it thinks is an obstacle and it puts the window back down. No such problems with these whatsoever. As you can see, if I put them down, put it all the way to close up, it closes no problem. And they seem to fit it in place really, really well. So what I'm going to do this morning, I'm going to leave them like that. I've actually turned the climate control off. It's 11 degrees this morning, so it's not that hot yet, but I think it's going to be a warm, sunny day. It's certainly forecast that way. This car has charged on nothing but sunshine for, what, 2-3 weeks now? I haven't used any grid power whatsoever. So yesterday, I worked from home, the car charged up, it was pretty empty, and it's charged to 56%. And this morning I have to travel to the St Andrews area, which is up in Fife, famous for golf and university, if you know it. Now, I'll just spin the camera around and you'll be able to see how it's looking in terms of the trip. So I've just used the Skoda system this morning. I just typed in St Andrews, where I'm going. It says it's Guardbridge, just outside St Andrews, 56 miles, tells me about some roadworks on the way, tells me about some pizza places I can go if I want to get a snack. And the important part is up here at the top right, you can go in there. So at the moment I'm on 56%. It's saying that in 1 hour, 10 minutes I'll arrive there and I will have 38% left. So it's going to use just under 20%, 18%. So we'll see how that works out. And obviously that means 38%. Some people I've seen on social media, in the EV groups, especially the Skoda UK and Ireland group, some people get quite nervous and they'll have to charge the car when it's at 40%. Absolutely no need for that whatsoever. 38% when I get there, then that will give me 20% when I get back here if it still uses 18%. So we'll see how that works out. But the main point of this morning's video is not really to test the range of the car, but it is to look at how the wind deflectors work. So what I'll do is I'll film a little bit on the way, but I'll have the camera around in this position and you'll be able to see and hear whether, you won't be able to see whether there's any noise, that's silly. You'll be able to hear whether there's any noise whatsoever coming into the cabin. Obviously there will be some sound, the window is open after all, but it's not going to be the kind of buffeting noise you get if you have the windows fully open when you're driving at speed. Because on the motorway this morning I'll be driving at 70, then there's the dual carriageway, again I'll be driving at 70, so we would get quite a lot of noise if we left the windows open. But it's a lovely day, so why not get some fresh air in? Right, so I'm now up to motorway speeds on the M8, the motorway between Edinburgh and Glasgow, and as you can hear, well, maybe I don't know if you can hear, but I can certainly hear there is some wind noise because I've got the window open. So if I close the window, you'll hear that's what it's like without the window open, and then with the window cracked open, that's what it's like. The window is just above the level of the wind deflectors, so that may sound noisy, I don't know, but if I take it down a little bit more, you'll hear what it would be like without the wind deflectors. So that's substantially noisier. And of course the main reason why you would want wind deflectors, apart from a little bit of noise, would be if this was a wet day, which we do get a fair bit of in Scotland, although you wouldn't think it. The last 3 weeks have been so dry and sunny. We've now had a warning issued about being a shortage of water, which is almost unheard of. Normally we would have rainy days, and I might want to just have fresh air in the car as well, and if you open the window, then of course you get rain coming in. Also, if you have the window open and you wash the windscreen, then the wind blows the fluid in, and you end up getting washer fluid all down here. So what I'll do just now is I will wash the windows. I'll hold it down for quite a bit. The water will come around the side. It's not going to come around the side. I'll spray even more and see if I can get some to come around the side. There we go. As you can see, normally that would come in here because the window is open, but the wind deflector is stopping it. So yeah, they're pretty good. They're doing the job. Not really much else to say. They seem pretty high quality. They were easy to fit. I can't actually remember how much I paid for them, but I'll look it up and I'll overlay it on the screen. I've not been given these. I've not been I don't get any rewards for buying them. It's just purely a private purchase on my own part, so I'll put a link up where I got them from, but you should shop around if you fancy this sort of an accessory. The other advantage, of course, of using fresh air via the window rather than using the climate control system is better efficiency. So I'll see what impact it has on the efficiency. So far the car has we've travelled 9 miles and it's done 4.9 miles per kilowatt hour, which is pretty incredible. It's 11 degrees, so you can't even say it's because it's very warm. It's not that warm. One of the biggest draws on the power after the actual drive of the car is the climate control system, so that's turned off so that I can just use fresh air. Then it really eliminates one of the major draws on the battery. So yeah, we'll see what we get to when we get up to St Andrews. Well, as you can see, I have now arrived at my destination. Well, I've got half a mile to go, and the stats should be visible there on the screen for you. The efficiency has been quite impressive. It's currently 4.5 miles per kilowatt hour, which, given that I was driving, first of all on the motorway, I was sitting at 70 with travel assist switched on, and since then I've been on this road here, so it's been 60 miles an hour speed limit, and then interspersed with little villages where it drops to 30, and 4.5 miles per kilowatt hour is pretty impressive. The wind deflectors, which is the main point of this video, have played the part in that because I haven't had the HVAC system switched on. There's been no heating, no aircon, no nothing, and that's fine when it's 11 degrees when I started off. It's now 15 degrees, so that's fine. If it was a really warm sunny day, yeah, we'd have the air conditioning switched on. Last night I had to give my wife and some of her colleagues a lift into town, into Edinburgh, and it was absolutely roasting in the car. It was 24 degrees outside, and so yeah, I had the air conditioning switched on. But on a day like this, these wind deflectors are really good, and they've allowed me to just have some fresh air coming into the car and not worry too much about energy consumption. Not that I do on this car, but it's just something I prefer. I don't like having ice cold air blasting in my face. I would rather, if it's possible at all, have the windows open, and these wind deflectors enable me to do that. So yeah, big thumbs up for me for these wind deflectors. Really good, easy to fit, took seconds, and they have really enabled me to have the window open. If there was rain, that would be fantastic, no water would be coming in, but even on a sunny day like this, when I use the windscreen washers, it means there's no water coming splattering all over the door cards there. So I hope that's of some use. I hope it answers the questions. A few people were asking about these deflectors when I mentioned them in a previous video, so I hope that's of some use, and I will see you in another video very soon.